Yo, is that a villager? So, in the past, I've actually talked about this, but I feel like I need to make an update video on this with my voice. There are many exclusive name tags in Tower Defense Simulator. There is only one that is in a sort of pseudo realm of only admins can have it, but certain other people, if they're granted it, can have it. Now, interestingly, I do have this name tag. Unfortunately, it's in a testing server, and since I made my video on this, developers have cracked down on testing server leaks, so I'm not entirely sure I can use my footage on that. However, at the time, Outer Bears did allow me to use that footage of me with this name tag, so I'm going to have to assume that that ability is still transferable to the modern day. So, Below Natural, any of the developers coming after me, yeah? I did not leak a testing server. Outer Bears gave me permission back in the day for the static name tag. For context, this is what Bears said to me. He said it was perfectly acceptable to use footage of the static name tag when talking about it. This was back in 2023. You haven't revoked the rights for it. Therefore, I'm allowed to. Please don't come after me. I will be careful with this and only use the footage that I recorded specifically back in 2023 for this, not recording any modern footage, even though I believe my account in this specific specific private testing server does have the static name tag. But given the fact that I'm not risking another leak or whatever, or getting banned by the developers, I'm not doing it. Anyways, yes, the static name tag. This is what it looks like. And as you'll notice, it looks very static-y. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the name of the static name tag. It's meant to look like TV static. And it has like weird vibes around it, basically. Essentially, your name glitches in a similar vein to the glitchy name tag, but it's much more frequent, and the names or the words on your name go in and out of being small to large. In fact, it does this to the point where your name is basically unreadable at this point. Like with the glitchy name tag, at least you're able to read your name. With the glitchy name tag, all it does is rotate your names around, which to an extent the static name tag does, except it's kind of does this to an effect where it blows up your name and then concatenizes it down to very small to give the effect of static. Also, the effect behind the name tag or the name itself is very weird as well, because you can see it's like red, white. It's red, white, and slightly bluish, along with green. Now, this is obviously meant to mimic the effects of static television at the time with the cathode televisions at the time, or CRT monitors. So the CRT monitors back in the day, they used to have static like this, which is the exact same effect that the static name tag is going after. Now, obviously, it's not just CRT cathode screens that undergo static. RGB displays also undergo this, but the static effects scene pays homage to CRT monitors, because back in the day, the static would affect the image qualities for like older broken CRT monitors, to the point where you could see some things like this person here or whatever, but like most of the text was nearly unreadable. So it's basically similar to this static scene here on an analog CRT TV. I don't know why I said CRT cathode. It's cathode ray tube. That's what CRT stands for. And yes, RGB monitors of today, from LEDs or whatever, OLED, I don't know, BAC, BOAC, BA bullshit, they can also do static, but not to the same extent that cathode ray tubes could. So yes, people have mistaken this for like TV static name tag, but it is just called the static name tag, not the TV static or the TV tag. Now, there's probably a description for the static name tag, but I was stupid enough not to leak it in the 2023 video, so therefore I don't think I'm allowed to leak it, but I believe it is public, so I'm not entirely sure if it's like ... similar to the glitchy name tag, or if it actually has a proper description. It should be public, but I actually don't know what the description for the static name tag is. I'm pretty sure Mentin, once he realizes that I made this video, probably would update it, because it's probably public knowledge. Well, obscure public knowledge. You can probably go data diving for it, but it's not public knowledge, as in not many people know about the description for the static name tag. And not many people actually know about the static name tag in general, because as I've alluded to in the past, yes, this is an exclusive name tag, and actually, contrary to popular belief, you don't have to be a specific rank in the game to actually get the static name tag. Well, sort of. See, the static name tag can appear in the gift box. However, you can only get it through the gift box if you're a certain rank in the Paradox in Games group. The only problem is, I believe, the rank required for the Paradox in Games group to get the static name tag is, I believe, developer or higher. I do not believe any of the community managers nor any of the administrators are actually able to get the static name tag. I believe the static name tag is like one of the hardest things to get naturally, because you have to be a developer. And for the most part, I believe some developers, in fact most of the developers, have access to the admin panel, which can give out the static name tag anyways. However, in that case, they can only give the static name tag to themselves. Now, you can give the static name tag to other people, but unless your name is Nexure or Outer Bears, I don't think this has happened too much. Because I believe you need to actually go into the code of the game itself, the data store, and edit it so you essentially give that person that you're editing the data store of the static name tag. Now, Outer Bears has leveraged this ability by actually giving out the static name tag to certain people, mainly content creators. Yeah, see, interestingly, Outer Bears doesn't exactly want this to be such that only admins can have it. No, he actually has given it out to a load of content creators, including myself, but only in the testing server because I had access to the testing server. But I am allowed to leak it. Don't ban me below natural. But that's kind of unconventional in the sense that you're not giving it through like the gift box, for example. It is manually given to you through data stores or data store editing, not through the gift box. The gift box is only reserved for developers or higher. Why Nexture has given this out to content creators is probably just for attention. Let's be real. He knows that probably content creators are the likely people to actually talk about the static name tag. Drum up that support for Paradoxian Games and Tower Defense Simulator to talk about an exclusive name tag will get you clicks on YouTube. And as far as I'm aware, only content creators have gotten the static name tag. Now, this does not mean all content creators have the static name tag. This is the thing that most people do not get. Well, not really do not get, but it's sort of assumed that if you're a content creator, you automatically get the static name tag because people think that, oh, it's like a TV monitor. Oh, it's like a monitor. Oh, YouTubers, they create content for our monitors. They're able to get the static name tag once they're ranked up to the content creator role in the Paradoxian Games group. However, this is not the case. You know how I know this? Because my alt account, Wikiboy, is it Wikiboy Colors or John Wick Colors? John Wick Colors. It has content creator rank in the Paradoxian Games group. As you can see, I have the flare, or as it's called, the title. But I don't have the static name tag, as you can see here. I have the content creator title, but I don't have the static title. It is not an automatic thing given out to content creators, let alone administrators, once they are ranked to that role in the Paradoxian Games group. No, it is given manually by developers and not really conventionally anyways. And it's only to certain content creators. I believe Outer Bear has went out of his way back in 2023 to give it to some content creators, but not every single one of them that's ranked in the Paradoxian Games group. I believe it's for the prominent ones as well, which is why he asked me, or I asked it. Actually, I don't know which way around it was. I think he asked me, do I want a static name tag, or did I ask him? Whatever the case, he only gave it out to prominent content creators. Don't believe all of them. And that's why the static name tag is sort of seen as a content creator name tag, even though it's not a content creator name tag. It's far from it. I don't have it on my main account in the main game. I have it in the testing game, which I'm allowed to leak through that 2023 footage, but no more. So technically, while it is an exclusive name tag, actually, it's one of the most gifted exclusive name tags because you only need, theoretically, the rank of content creator, and content creators do have it, which is the second lowest rank in the Paradoxian Games group, or the second type of people, or their second group of people in the Paradoxian Games group to have an exclusive item, not counting titles and not counting the free cam mode thing. And as explained by Nexture, he only gave it out in 2023 to content creators while testing out, or while showcasing, the new feature of, like, custom name tags. So I don't think any more people, other than the ones who got it in 2023, including me in the testing server, will get the static name tag unless you're ranked up to the developer in the Paradoxian Games group. Interestingly, I do think that makes the static name tag slightly more common than one of the other rarer name tags that you can actually get. I think that's the champion name tag. That's the one where I think that's rarer than the static name tag because you have to be ranked like top 3 in the leaderboards, and the leaderboards has only been active or properly working for about 6 months at this point. And I believe there's been repeat winners of the leaderboard thing. And in the wild, I've only ever seen one champion name tag, quite recently actually, with the PvP update. We're seeing it in the wild, whereas for the static name tag, because I've played around with administrators who probably were given it by Nexture or gave it to themselves through the admin panel, I've seen the static name tag more than I have the champion name tag. So I'm willing to say that the champion name, or the static name tag, is actually more common than the champion name tag. But I'll save that for the champion name tag video. Speculate on whether if it is actually the rarest name tag in Tower Defense Simulator.